All right, folks, welcome back to the Ting Open, game number 2 in this best of 5, and I want to remind and emphasize this group stage is all best of 5s. Spawning the bottom left side of Dusk Towers, playing for Root Gaming, it's the red Zerg player Hydra.
In the top right, as the blue Terran, he is Drunkenboi.
Okay, so, quick, again, shout out to our sponsors, Ting, check them out. I will say, though, because we have this happen, I feel every single broadcast, some snooty-tooty European comes in bragging about their excellent phone service. And we've actually, we recognize this, guys. Like, congratulations. Over in Europe, you don't have access to Ting, so we're not even asking you to swap over anyways. But all you managed to do is make us feel worse about everything we already have over here in North America, because Canada and the United States alike have pretty terrible phone bills and coverages and services. So when Ting came along, like, it was actually a pretty cool blessing in disguise. Because I had no, like, I mean, I knew they sponsored Shoutcraft, and we helped them with the 2v2 tournament last year, but I didn't really know much about them. Like, we didn't read into them. I didn't even know if I'd ever use them. Now I'm very excited to use them whenever I go to the States. Zamgra mentioning before she's looking to swap into it. But we get it, Europe, okay? You're better than us. We get it. This is Civil War for a reason, and revolts, blah, blah, blah.
It's so, like, I realize they're shocked, and that's why they're, like, exclaiming, like, $25, what the hell? But, like, it's really not that much money.
I just realized I ignorantly quoted the Civil War just now. What was the actual one where you guys separated from Britain?
The Revolutionary War.
Revolutionary War.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, I
just heard Civil War, and I figured you had the right context.
I said, you heard war, you're like, yeah, we do a lot of those in America, so you probably nailed it.
Well, the Civil War separated from the United States, technically. Like, they became the Confederacy, but...
Yeah, but not from Europe.
No, not from Europe.
I love how that's the two different directions they went, by the way. Like America was a lot like the rebellious kid, and Canada was more like the, okay, you grew up, here's your first car, and we'll let you have your own country.
So, like, someone, like, posted something that, like, you know, some British person was complaining they don't have, like, an Independence Day or something like that. And someone else is like, probably because everyone is trying to independent themselves from Britain.
I mean, Britain did take over, like, most of the world at a point.
Anyways.
But I was always under the impression, wasn't, like, Guy Fawkes Day kind of like their Independence Day or something?
Guy Fawkes?
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Oh, it was, like, a huge part of the whole V for Vendetta thing, and, like...
I don't know.
I don't live in Britain. I have no idea.
Yeah, I figured they actually do have some type of Independence Day. But the joke doesn't work if that's true.
Well, regardless of whatever for those, point is, Ting's awesome, guys, and we're glad that they're here, giving StarCraft and, of course, us some money to do awesome tournaments with. But Hydra is going for Roaches. Now, last time he did open with a couple of Roaches and a Ravager and poked a little bit at the front of Drunkenboi, but I don't know, on Dust Towers, if he did that again, it would work out really well, I'd say, just because it is a Hellion opener. However, if he is only getting this as a precautionary method, and actually scouting with the legs is pretty important. Not going to kill much, but now knowing Hellions are on the way, I don't think he's going to leave his mineral lines exposed. And Drunkenboi is certainly one of these players, like, once he gets to a mineral line, he's going to do damage.
I wonder if this Widowmine is on purpose. So he could be going for, like, a Widowmine drop, and then Hellions up the front. Or it could be accidental, and he meant to build 2 Hellions, do a complete Hellion drop. Looks like he's just gonna stick with the Widowmine. Third CC comes down. It's not gonna be like a Hellbat all-in or anything like that. It is just an opener, which won't be doing too much damage as long as Hydra plays cautious. With Roaches, it should be fine.
Until just this moment when you said Hellbat, I forgot we were casting Drunkenboi. My favorite Hellbat player of all time.
Hey!
Him and you Thermal, man, but Drunkenboi by far. Actually, oh my god, if you think about it, right? If you Thermal and Drunkenboi had, like, merged as an Archon in Heart of the Swarm, they would have actually probably been the best Terran player in the game.
Is Drunkenboi really the best at TvZ, or was just the one build?
It was just that one build.
So basically, if Thermal had, like, learned that one build.
Well, he had linked me to, like, when he first did it back at, like, Wings of Liberty, he was getting cast by, like, MLG, and he just did, like, you know, Hellbats didn't exist yet, but he had, like, a Hellion version of that all in. It was wonderful. But drops do come down, however they are dropped directly into Lings, loses the Widowmine, and as we are learning more and more, drops are not Drunkenboi's forte.
Well, this was easily cleaned up. Nice pull on the drones to make sure they weren't lined up and they weren't actually being attacked that much either.
I feel like the strategy here was good. Oh, he kills the queen in the main. The strategy here was good, but the execution was not. Like, to try and drop in the main and distract and then run in with the Hellions, I think the reason the drop in the the drop in the main went so poorly because he was focusing on the Hellions. Perhaps should have been the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The execution just wasn't quite there. And Hydra was playing pretty defensive. Like, there's nothing... It was just... Both sides were easy to clean up. If one of them had surprised him, the other one would have done more damage, but nothing surprises Hydra, apparently.
Senka, you dead, by the way, just reset for 10 months. And I am now aware that at 1080p, the text is misaligned. So I need to fix that a little bit.
Ah.
And much smaller. What the fuck?
The Banshee follow-up is awfully weird, because it's such a late Banshee. Obviously, they have... Well, obviously, Hydra has Spore Crawlers, what tore down the medevac, and obviously they would have a lair, too, so... Feels a little weird, but it is something that's going to get some decent scouting, maybe some free damage on top of the roaches, because it is cloakless. I just feel that's like that safety Banshee we used to see in Heart of the Swarm.
Well, I guess maybe you're just hoping that Hydra's not paying attention, but the fact that there's going to be a queen at every base guaranteed for larva injects, like, how much can you really get away with? I guess maybe hitting some Ravagers that are in the middle of the map. This would be actually, the Banshee would have been fantastic to have at home. Sims passed that corrosive bile. I don't know how he didn't get hit by it. Drives off the Ravagers, going to drive out these Lings. Still lost 7 SCVs in the process, however.
Yeah. Still a lot nicer for Hydra. It was taking a little bit of a supply lead, of course, thankfully to the workers right now. Drunkenboi's third base only just came down. He's going to take a huge supply lead with roaches inflating it, and he has to go for roaches entirely, like getting the upgrades for them too, on Dusk Towers. I've been seeing a lot more people go for Needle Bling, but both options are there, especially if the roach option is trying to get to ultras as fast as possible, as you have a lot more like literal room to maneuver and buy time with. His creep spread's starting to get pretty far too, and Drunkenboi's he's pushing out now. It could simply be to clean up that creep. The medevacs. Where are the medevacs? Oh, they're there.
What's out right now is really unconventional, though, because Hydra with the tunneling claws. You don't see this in ZVT. But it is going to sneak attack through, and that's not a full wall, so he can still squeeze through that one little hole in the depots. I think? Oh, that's actually not... Is that a wall? There's no way that's a wall. That's a wall. How is that a wall? Okay, either way, he just has to break one. Whack-a-mole!
Does have a scan, unfortunately, for Hydra.
But
he does push back the main army.
He does actually have the DPS to kill the roaches through the scan.
Amazing.
Amazing gaming. Is that going to be a wall? That's okay, so I guess this is a thing that Marines can walk through, but not roaches for whatever reason.
And SCVs. Oh, so he also got pushed back in the front.
Oh, no.
Which happened on the mini-map, and all the roaches are now going into every single mineral line. This is going to be very messy to clean up. Hydra on a 4th base will definitely have an economy behind this to remax on roaches should he not also kill some army. Because that's always the worry, is that you just lose the roaches, kill the economy, but then get counterattacked and die.
This is a tactic out of Hydra you'll see in ZVZ a lot, actually, but surprisingly, this killed a very small amount of SCVs. For the dedication of how many roaches died for this? 8 so far for 9 SCVs? Not so hot. But as you said, he pushed back the main army, so it's not pushing. It's holed up here in the natural. He's going to kill a lot of depots. There looks to be no opposition to this whatsoever as he responds to the roaches in the mineral lines once again. And this is, it's getting a little bit bad for Drunkenboi. That supply block is nasty. The wall falling, I mean, with no resistance whatsoever. And Hydra behind all of this, moving on to Hive Tech.
Yeah, that's of course what is scariest. But even without that Hive Tech, the massed Roach army would still do well against what Drunkenboi has, with combined with Infestors, of course. Otherwise, yeah, they're not that great. The upgrades have also just skyrocketed for Hydra, fallen behind desperately for Drunkenboi. He already delayed him a little bit because of the Banshee, but he also just, I think, just straight up just, with all this harassment, he lost the gas geysers, he doesn't have that much gas, he lost minerals, so only just starting on those looks quite bad, because usually that one last desperate push is with 2-2 at least, before Ultras come out.
I'll tell you at this rate, I hope Puck's watching the stream getting his versus Zerg builds ready. Thank you, by the way, to Candyman, the Candyman can, for the 13-month resub.
Very nice. So,
I actually, hang on, I want talk about chat. Actually, we may have to wait because there's a fight brewing. I think Fester's gonna get those fungals though, and this is gonna go so badly
Oh my
for
god.
poor Drunkenboi.
Yep, that's game. Not even easy ultras.
GG.
GG.
I want to address this whole